Okay. This is kind of a cool problem. Basically what it's saying is this. You've got these three numbers, and they are three consecutive terms of an arithmetic sequence. That's the important thing. Because what that means is this. You've got, here's one term, here's another term, and here's another term. Okay? For an arithmetic sequence, and it says it's consecutive, so you know that 4k plus 1 is the first term. You know that k is the second term. You know that 5 is the third. Remember that an arithmetic sequence adds the same number every time. Unfortunately, we don't know that number. We know that to get from 4k plus 1 to k, we had to add some number, and I'm just going to go with a. And we know that to get from k to 5, we had to take k and add a. So you actually have two equations and two variables. The first equation is, you know that if you have 4k plus 1, and then you add a to it, you get k. You also know that if you have k, and once again, you add a to it, you're going to get 5. So these are your two equations. We need to clean these equations up so that we can solve them. But if we have two equations with two variables, we can find both of those variables. So what I'm going to do is, I'll do this top equation in green. 4k, I've got two k's on both sides, so I'm going to subtract k from both sides. I'm also going to subtract my constant and get it over there all by itself. So the k's on the right-hand side cancel, and the ones on the left-hand side cancel, and I end up with 4k minus k is 3k plus a equals -1. That's my first equation. My second equation is already cleaned up. My second equation is just k plus a equals 5. Now, hopefully you remember that when you have two equations of two variables, 3k plus a equals -1, and I have that other one, k plus a equals 5. That is a system of equations. And what you can do is multiply through so that one of your variables cancels. So what I need to go back and look at is, what variable did it tell me to find? And it said find k. If it wants you to find k, you need to make a vanish. You need to figure out what you can multiply through by so that a will cancel. So what I'm going to do is multiply the bottom equation, I could have done the top as well, by -1. The reason I do that is that 3k plus a equals -1. That equation was unaffected, but the negative multiplying through that equation gives me -k minus a equals -5. Now, the reason that's important is because when I add two equations straight down, 3k minus k gives me 2k. Those cancel, equals to -6, and divide both sides by 2. That tells you that k equals -3. So that's your answer, -3 right there, but I just want to make sure here. 4 times -3 would be -12 plus 1, which would be -11. This would be -3, and this would be 5. And if you look at it from -11 to -3, I went up 8. And from -3 to 5, I went up 8, which means a is 8, but you weren't asked for a. But I can see here, yes, that is an arithmetic sequence, and the consecutive terms do work out with that number, and so that's how I know I got it right. So B is the answer.